Aloha, Nina here with another video about our cruise. So I get a lot of questions about Castaway Cay, spelled Castaway C-A-Y. It is not K, it is Cay, just so you know. Is Disney's private island. Most Disney cruises go here. There are some cruises, obviously the ones by California, some of them up in New York, will not dip over to Castaway Cay, but most of the Bahamian ones, the Caribbean ones, the ones that port out of Florida, Miami, or Port Canaveral will hit Castaway Cay. And some of them do a double dip, mean they hit Castaway Cay twice. Which I'm telling you, after doing Castaway Cay, I'm thinking the double dip of the 2 Castaway Cays, one trip, sounds pretty amazing. Castaway Cay was my family's #1 favorite part of the trip. I grew up in California. I grew up by the ocean. I love the ocean. I love the smell. I love the feel. I love the sound. I love everything about the ocean. I am not a water person. I do not snorkel. I do not swim. I do not get wet. However, the ocean is just peaceful to me. It puts me at ease. I loved it. So even though I didn't go in the water, well, of course, I walked in with my feet, actually. Even though I didn't do all those swimming, boating, whatever activities, I had a fabulous time. And my kids loved it. Loved it. So, yeah, we're going to talk about Castaway Cay. So the first thing that I get a lot of questions about is the 5K. So if you didn't know this, Castaway Cay features a Run Disney event. I think it's Run Disney that does it. I think is the 5K, and it's free and it's relatively easy. Anyone can do it, although only ages 10 and up will receive a medal after completion, and it's just a great time. Typically, people who do the 5K are the first people off the ship that morning. That didn't really happen to us. We had a struggle. We had a hard time apparently pulling into port. It was a little windy, but we did finally make it. Anyway, the 5K, like I said, is free. You sign up on the ship if you want to do it, and you don't have to pay for anything. And you get up early. You meet at a certain location, and they give you a bib. Here's my bib number. I had to safety pin this on my shirt, just like any other Run Disney type event. And we waited in a little room until they said, okay, the ship's ported, it's time to go out. So then we all walked off the ship together. It was a little bit of a walk, but of course we're doing a 5K event, so like, really, is the walk really gonna kill us? It didn't. It was beautiful. The wind was blowing. We got to see everything kind of from a distance. It actually made me really upset that I was doing the 5K because I was seeing all the things I was missing out on. But that's okay because the 5K only lasted like 45 minutes, and then I was off having fun with my family. So anyway, you walk to the start of the event. The start is also the finish. So if, like me, you have family meeting you there, tell them to meet you at the starting line, which is also the finish line, like I said. So anyway, we walked all the way over. For people not doing the 5K, you can walk over or you can tram over. We didn't tram over, we had to walk over. But it was pretty cool because while we were walking over, I got to watch Pluto and Mickey tram over. And then they got off their little tram, and then they were walking, and it got to the point where I was walking behind Mickey and Pluto, and then they would stop for like pictures, and I would quickly like snap a few. It was fun. Anyway, changing topics as usual. So we go over to the starting point, and there's a cute little 5K sign, which everyone took pictures of, you know, selfies in front of the 5K sign. And then the cast member describes what you're going to do. So I'm hoping this will work. This is a map of Castaway Cay. It's a little blurry. Let's see if we can fix this. We're not going to be able to fix this. Okay. It's going to be blurry apparently. Anyway, what you can't see, where's my finger? Right here. Oh, okay, right here. Right here is the event. You go down a line, and then there's a loop. I can't even do this in the camera, guys. This is obnoxious. Okay, so you port here, and then you walk, and there's like a loop. And then you walk, and this is Serenity Bay. This is the adult-only, you know, section. So for the 5K, we're going to try to zoom in one more time. focus, whatever. Okay, not working. So for the 5K, what you need to do is you go down this little area, you go up, you loop once, you go down, you come back, you loop a second time, and then you finish. So my point of mentioning this is you're kind of seeing the same scene twice. And running, I thought, you know, I didn't run. I thought doing it, I would see some really like luscious landscape. I would see the ocean. I'd see these really cool things. Not so much. You saw a lot of like brush, really tall bushes and brush. So it wasn't like this awesome, like picturesque situation, which I thought maybe it could be. It wasn't, but that's okay. Anyway, there are people who run. There are serious runners out there who are running the heck out of this thing. Just stay out of their way. Then there's people who try to run, and that's great too. Then there's people like me who walked the whole thing. I am a semi-fit person. I can run. I choose not to. I don't get any thrill out of running. But I wanted to walk it because I wanted to be casual. I wanted to take pictures and I wanted a video. So I did videotape the opening, which is basically me quickly getting out of everyone's way, everyone running past me, and then me starting on my walking journey. So I'm going to insert that here.
I'll catch you later.
All right. Then there's me walking the 5K. This is a serious thing, people. Hundreds of people just ran right past me, and I'm over here walking. I'm a walker. This is the 5K run on Castaway Cay. Am I going to film the whole thing? No. But here's just a little glimpse. I got some straggler runners coming through. Got to keep the path clear. But one thing to note is that you start at the same place that you finish. So if you have family that wants to meet you at the finish line is the start line. So that's nice. There's also 2 loops that you have to go through, pretty much the same 2 loops. If you want to be like Nina, you can skip the loop the second time and still finish on time. For me, this is all about the metal. It's plastic, but I want it. So anyway, there's water people along the way so that you don't have to pack your own water bottle if you don't want to. This is also the same as the bike path. So, oh, he said we did good so far, under 2 minutes. 5K marker. And here we go. All right. I'll film a little bit more later. Nina, out. All right. So now that you guys have kind of seen what the starting line looks like, yeah, so you just kept walking and walking again. It was the same kind of like bushes, trees, nothing crazy. It was really easy. It was very easy. In fact, it got me so excited. I plan on collecting one of these bad boys every year. Anyway, so when you finish, I took a little video of the finish line, which was very shaky, very blurry, but you can see the timestamp. So I'm going to put the finish line video here. Yay! Okay, so now that you've kind of sort of seen the same thing, at the very end where I turned off my camera, the cast member gave me my medal, which was the whole point in me doing this. I wanted to do this to say I did a 5K. I wanted to do this to accomplish something on my trip, and I wanted to do it because I just really wanted it. Here it is right here. This is what I got. Castaway Cay 5K medal. It's actually not metal. It's plastic. And it doesn't say 2017 on it at all, but it does say 2017 on the strap. So I get the feeling, in fact I know, they kind of use the same metal every year. They just change the strap. But I don't really care because I'm going to be one of those cool people that's going to have like 4 Castaway Cay plastic medals all on my neck at the same time. And I might wear my American flag hoodie and I'm going to look very very much like a runner, even though I'm not. Anyway, I know you guys are like, Nina's crazy. Okay, I am crazy. Anyway, so for the 5K, you get your bib, you get your medal. I was done in like 35 minutes or whatever my timestamp said. And again, I had my family meet me there, which they didn't. Thank you, family. Took me 25 minutes to find my family because they did not listen to my instructions. They decided to get lost playing a giant board of checkers. Yes, apparently, and I missed it, there were these giant boards of checkers that you could play, and my family decided to do that instead of meeting me at the finish line. So anyway, I digress. So as soon as it was over, everyone had to go potty, of course, and everyone's like, Mama Beach, Mama Ocean. But by the time we found everyone and everything was done, we decided we needed to get some food. So we went over to Cookies. There's Cookies, and there's Cookies too. And that is where you eat at Castaway Cay for free. Anyway, so we went over to Cookies because that's where our server from the ship, our same server, met us at Cookies with our food. Now, because of the food allergies, we couldn't eat the traditional barbecue. My husband did, but the rest of us couldn't. So our server brought down our food and had it waiting for us in the kitchen. So we went over to Cookies, and I'm like, hey, server, where are you? He came out, and he served our food, which was fantastic. And, yeah, we ate our food, and we went straight to the beach. And it was, like, wonderful. It was not crowded. I have heard people complain about Castaway Cay being crowded, but I think that was the perk of us being on a smaller ship. Smaller ship means less crowds. And we were the only ship that was docked that day, which was lovely. So it was just us. We found a nice cozy part on the beach, and my kids just played. Played in the sand, played in the ocean for hours. Warning, the sun in the Bahamas is no joke. We left looking like lobsters. I was burnt, beyond burnt. I had a visor, both my kids had hats, and I was using really nice, really good quality sunscreen, and we all got burnt. So pack your aloe, folks. Pack your oils because you're going to need it. We should have reapplied like 16 times, and we didn't because I didn't realize how intense the sun was. In California, or where we live now, you don't need to reapply 16 times. So just note on that. And then someone had gifted us sand toys and like little shovels. My kids, again, they're almost 5 and 8, just enjoyed building little sand castles out of these little plastic toys that someone had given us. I brought cups off the ship. They just made tower after tower. Other little kids were coming around wanting to play in our tower with our little sand castle situation. It was just a good time. It was a simple, good time. One thing I forgot to mention is that we also rented bicycles. It was like $11 a person. They have women's bikes. They have men's bikes. They have bikes with the, the kid seat on the back, and then they have kid bikes with training wheels. So pretty much any sort of kid family situation you've got cooked up, they have a bike for you. So my son didn't need a bike because he rode on the back of Dad's. So for $32 or something, we got our bikes, and it was the same, the bike path, again, I know this is horrible, was the same thing as the 5K. So it was the same, scenery, the same situation. So you could walk that route, you could do the 5K, or you could bike the route. There were people walking, there were people headed over to Serenity Bay. We biked it. We biked it as long as we could until someone had a little meltdown. Yes, people have meltdowns even on Disney cruises. She was done. She wanted the beach. And that's what I'm like missing out here. See, I ran the 5K, and then we immediately did the bikes because we didn't want to do the bikes in the heat like at 2 p.m. So we immediately did the bikes. And that's why after the bikes, we were hungry for cookies. This is all making sense to me now. So we did the bikes, which was fun. I don't think it's something we have to do every single trip. I mean, it was fun. It was enjoyable. But the kids really just wanted to play on the beach. So I think next time I might stick them on the beach. Just go straight to the beach. And also there's a kids club at Castaway Cay. So if we really wanted to, for some of you people, we could have checked her into the kids club and just rode the bikes, me and hubby, with the 4-year-old, and could have had a fabulous time because 4-year-old wasn't pedaling. He was just on the back of the bike. She was the one pedaling and kind of having a little mini fit towards the end. In hindsight, we could have just checked her into the kids club. She could have done her thing. We could have done our thing. We could have picked her up for lunch, and then we could have beached as a family. So again, other options for you. There were people on kayaks, people on paddle boats, people snorkeling, doing all sorts of water fun. We just took it really easy. And around like 2:30, 3 o'clock, we decided we were done, and we went back on the ship, burnt like lobsters, and we took showers, changed our clothes. Daughter went to the kids club. We, you know, try to not be super hot walking around like this. But it was a great time. It was just a great time. We did see characters. We didn't stop to take pictures with any of them. There were a few little gift shops. I know a lot of people are asking me about the gift shops. There wasn't that many like knick-knacky, gotta have items. I bought a visor because I really needed a visor that day. One thing I thought was pretty cool is they sell sand toys. So if we hadn't already been gifted sand toys, I totally would have bought in a bucket and some sand toys because that's what my kids got. That's what they did the most. That's what they had the most fun doing. That was the most memorable part of the trip. So at the risk of wasting 10 bucks, I say get those kids' toys, get those sand toys, get the buckets, because that's what my kids loved. And then we went back on the ship and just had the rest of our day. It was a fabulous day. Castaway Cay was, like I said, our favorite part of the trip. So, yeah. So anyway, hopefully that kind of answers some of the questions I usually get. It's usually about what is Castaway Cay, what is on Castaway Cay, what is the 5K? Again, 5K, super easy. There were super fit runners who were like bypassing people like crazy. There were people walking like me. There were people of all shapes and sizes. There was a woman there who she was trying to prove to herself she could do this. She's never been a fit person, always been a little overweight, and this was something her entire family back home was rooting for her to accomplish a 5K, even though she walked it. So, and good for her, by the way, she did finish. And yeah, how exciting for her. So anyway, run, walk, skip, or jump, you can do the 5K. Just watch out for those runners, because the runners who do this thing, they take it very seriously. It's not that they're trying to win some award. They are trying to get a good timestamp for this. So just stay out of those runners' way. And I will say that water was provided. There were several areas where there was water for you to, and cups for you to fill up and have a drink. So you don't have to bring your water bottle like me. I, of course, brought my water bottle to use the rest of the day. But people were there with literally nothing. I was there with a camera and with water bottles and all sorts of craziness that I didn't have to bring, but I knew that ahead of time. Anyway, yeah, Castaway Cay, a good time. No reason to overdo it. No reason to get, you know, do too many port excursions for Castaway Cay, because it's an all-around just good time. So, anyway, mahalo for watching. Nina, out.